Hey, just wanted to do this short kind of impromptu video on a knife that I've actually had for a few months now, but I never got around to doing a video of. And that is, of course, another Lionsteel, which is one of my favorite brands. And this is a SR1, and it's a little different because it has the Chad Nichols Raindrop stainless steel Damascus, which makes for a beautiful blade. If you look at my video feed, you'll actually see another Lionsteel video where I take a look at the SR1 and the SR2. And so I had an SR1 that also had the plain titanium handles, and then it had a plain Schleipner blade. And so it was a very clean aesthetic, and I've since flipped that one once I had this one, and it really just kind of did it for me. So anyhow, just a few thoughts I wanted to share about this. If you're looking for a more in-depth video, you can go look at my SR1 versus SR2 video, but just take a look at that beautiful Damascus that's done by Chad Nichols. And these blades, if you get them brand new, I believe they are a Knife Art exclusive here in the United States. And as such, they all have these plain titanium handles, plain colored. And then there are three different types of Damascus. You have the Raindrop, you have the Iguana, and then you have the Starfire Damascus as well. So anyhow, you can contact Lionsteel to have them do special builds. There was a guy on the forum, and he got some gold anodized handles with, I believe it was Raindrop Damascus, and he got two SR1s and an SR2 with the same configuration. So you can do that. It is more expensive once there's the euro conversion and then the shipping, but if you're looking for a particular combination of handle colors or Damascus type, then Lionsteel has at least done that once before that I'm aware of. So they're a little bit pricey as far as production knives go, but these are some of the best, if not the best, production knives currently made right now. This last year at Blade 2014, Lionsteel beat out Chris Reeve for the, I think it was Quality Manufacturing Award, the one that Chris Reeve always gets, but they beat him out this year, and that was due to a special edition TM1, which is their new model, and it was made using additive manufacturing technology, something along those lines. But it essentially created kind of like a bird cage handle, and what it does is it lays down layers of titanium powder and it like lasers them together. So it's like 3D printing but with metal, and it's a very viable option. It's a very, very new technology, tremendously expensive, and the ones that Lionsteel have put up with those special edition additive manufacturing technology are insanely expensive, but that's what new technology costs. So I think they're, don't quote me on this, but something along the lines of maybe 1,600 euro. I think they were 1,800 euro previously, 1,600 euro now. Anyways, you're looking at probably $2,000 or more. So if you've got the cash to flaunt, go check those out. Again, those are these special edition TM1s. But anyways, back to this knife. So size comparison, if you're curious, there's the smaller SR2, here's the SR1. Good size difference, violet handle, Schleipner blade. But yes, as far as value goes, I think these are actually an excellent value despite the very high price tag. Basically, Lionsteel is the only manufacturing company that does something like this. There is no one else in the market, as far as from a manufacturing perspective outside of the custom realm, that does an integral handle with a frame lock, with a stainless steel lock insert, with Damascus, or even just with the plain Schleipner. I mean, there's Lionsteel, or you jump into the custom makers like Dalibor, Peter Vicenti, Michael Estrella, and they do integral handles, and they use Damascus as well. But you're going to be paying way more than double. I mean, you're probably going to be in 1,000 plus if you get it directly from the maker. But the chances of you actually getting on their books anytime soon are probably less than zero. So secondary market prices on anything comparable to this, which again is custom, I mean, I would assume at least 3 times the price for something that is an integral with the Damascus blade or even with the plain blade. So anyways, it offers tremendous value when you look at the competitive options, which really there are none in the same price realm. So, and then the quality is, you know, absolutely fantastic. It is immaculate. Nothing was wrong with this knife. I did get this directly from Knife Art, and they have mixed reviews as far as their customer service goes, but luckily I had a fine enough experience. I didn't have any problems, and I said I wanted to make sure that I got this this knife, and I wanted an example that was centered and no quality control problems, and I got an example that was centered. So anyways, my experience with Knife Art was positive. But when I first got it, this thing was pretty stiff. There was a lot of tension on the lock bar, and so the blade, while it's not designed to be a fast opener, now that it's smoothed out, it's relatively fast, and I can easily open it and then one hand close it without any problems. And so given enough time, the lock bar, the tension will actually decrease. But what I did is I actually took it and I pushed it over a little bit, pushed it over a little bit more. I just kind of worked the lock bar a little bit to help it smooth out, and it did tremendously. So a very smooth, exquisitely beautiful knife. I mean, when I put Instagram pictures of this up, it gets tons and tons of like compared to other knives, even my other Lionsteel that just has the plain blade, because obviously that Raindrop Damascus is awesome. And the cool thing too is these Damascus blades, each one is absolutely unique. You'll never find two blades that are exactly the same. It's almost like a fingerprint. So let's get a kind of an up close look here at this, going over it, all the intricacies of the pattern. There's these two portions here that are almost they look kind of smudged. Those do bother me a little bit, but it adds to the uniqueness. And again, there's no two that are alike. Here's the other side. Even from one side to the next doesn't look the same. So again, very unique pieces, excellent quality control. Definitely worth checking out. As far as Lionsteel in general, we are at least making this video, I'm in the very first part of August 2014. Some models that I had hoped to see, such as the Lionsteel Flipper, are still not out. They still have not revealed any prototypes, and it's supposed to be out in September, but I don't think they're going to hit that deadline, as they are headed into the summer vacation season of August in Italy, when most everything shuts down. So they'll be down for at least 2 weeks, and once they get back, they'll be starting on the new projects like the Flipper, which I really want. The TM1 came out, and that's also a rather expensive knife. It's an IKBS with lockback. Pretty cool. It uses an integral handle either out of micarta or carbon fiber. I think the carbon fiber one is more than 400, and the micarta one's like 300 or something. But again, very expensive. I just have no interest in lockbacks. I'm not a fan of two-handed closing systems. Really on any of my knives anymore. I have a couple from kind of when I first started, and they're fine, but I don't want to buy any more. So the TM1's not really in it for me. And then the aluminum tie spine, still no word on that, but I would like definitely to try one of those out. So hopefully we'll see some news before the end of the year. Although with as many knives as they're producing for other companies, I don't know what their timetables look like, but I'd anticipate probably next year before we see the release of both of those models. I hope I'm wrong though, cross my fingers. But yeah, anyways, so that's pretty much it. Just again, it was kind of an impromptu video showing this off for anyone who wanted a high-def look at the Lionsteel Raindrop Damascus. And the Starfire is awesome. The iguana pattern is awesome. There's also a new type of Damascus that they're using. I believe on the SR2, they have released some of the SR2s with Damascus. And I don't know if there are any US distributors on that, or if that's going to need to be a direct order. Perhaps there are, perhaps they're out there. I already have an SR1 in Damascus and an SR2 in Sleipner, so you know, I'm pretty good for the SR1 and the SR2. The next for me is just going to be the Flipper, and then I'd really like the tie spine in aluminum with a stainless steel lock insert, which would have to be the case for the aluminum models. So fingers crossed to see those soon on those 2 next models. I'm already at 10 minutes on an impromptu video, so I'm not doing a very good job, but I'll just leave you guys with that. Thanks for watching, and take care.